Woo-hoo. 3, 2, 1. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the third video in this series of me documenting my journey back to the stage. So I got a lot to share with you about what's happened since the last video. So I'm just hop right into it. So since my last video on this series, I made a trip to Dallas. And in Dallas, I got the opportunity to see my boy Mark marry his beautiful bride, Kiara. It was an amazing wedding, and we kicked it. We had a great time. We ate good food, we partied hard, and we drank hard. And I know what you're probably thinking, like, Jeremy, isn't this supposed to be a journey about you getting back to the stage and you being on plan? It is, but if you remember from the first episode, I said I want to share everything in this journey. I want to share the good, the bad, the ugly, the ups, the downs, and everything in between, in hopes that you can see all the sacrifices, the habit changes, the mindset shift that's required in order to lose the amount of weight that I'm trying to lose. So back to Dallas. So in Dallas, got there Friday night, went out to the club and, started drinking, having a good time. And by this time, those drinks didn't fit my macros. But by this time, I already forgot about the prep, about the plan. I'm like, I'm here to have a good time in Dallas and celebrate this wedding. So next day is the wedding day. We get up, we start getting ready. We're having wings, we're having, food from Texas, right? Everything in Texas is fatty and all the above. And so we're enjoying getting ready for the wedding. So the ceremony starts and it's beautiful, It was just amazing and everyone's crying and Mark starts crying in 3 seconds, of course, but it was definitely something worthy of crying for. So ceremony ends and she actually said, yes, I will be your bride. I do. And so then we celebrated at the reception and we're drinking, having a good time. And my boy Mark, he's a pro bodybuilder. So naturally, he's going to attract other bodybuilders around him and people that are in that space. So another groomsman in the wedding is my boy Q. So Q is trying to step on stage this year for his first competition. And we got a chance to talk to each other. And what he shared with me was seeing me and Mark compete in 2020 really inspired him to step on stage himself and really push himself to that next level. And then seeing me share these videos of the journey back to the stage, really lit the fire under him. And, I said, man, I appreciate that, bro. And the feeling's mutual because seeing you work so hard, be committed, and want this so bad for yourself motivates me. And it makes me want to take my game to the next level. And so we had that talk, right? Then we got back to dancing. The reception ends and there was a party bus. And the party bus is going to take us from the reception to downtown for bottle service. And so keeping the party going, get on the bus. I got my 2 drinks in hand. And across the way, I see Q. And he has his Tupperware, right? He's got his chicken, his rice, his broccoli, dry chicken, if that. And I'm like, in my mind, between the talk we had and seeing him on that bus, I was like, all right, when I get back to San Diego, I'm gonna be on it. Like, I'm gonna be on my cardio, I'm gonna be on my meals, I'm gonna be, on my workouts, not missing anything. And so I had that in my mind. And I share that story with Q to share, it's so important to have great people in your life and people that are on the same path as you, striving to be better themselves, because it will check you sometimes and remind you of like where you need to be and what you need to be doing. So had a blast, in Dallas, made it back home. So Monday, I didn't meal prep. So, I'm trying to eat clean and go through those motions. But Monday night hits, and I'm like, man, all I want is some Mexican food. So what did I do? I went and I got carne asada fries. And the reason this is significant is because, yes, it's very important who you associate with, who you surround yourself with, but it's more important of the identity you have for yourself. Who are you when no one is around and no one is looking, right? And so I went and I got those carne asada fries. And I told myself, all right, tonight's going to be the last night that I deviate from the plan. And I'm going to hit it hard tomorrow. So the next day, stepping on the scale, I weighed 228 pounds. And 228 is exactly what I weighed back in January when I got serious about starting this journey. So I'm back exactly where I started, after the weekend of partying, after, the carne asada fries, the Mexican food, all of that. I'm back where I started. And that makes me want to, it sucks when you realize that, dang, it's been 3 months and I haven't made any progress. And you tell yourself like, oh, it's because I'm getting older, or oh, the plan doesn't work, I need to tweak something. But the reality is the actions you have been taking haven't aligned with where you really want to go, and haven't aligned with you consistently losing weight and body fat. And another thing that made me realize this is a book I'm currently reading. And that book is Atomic Habits. And I want to share a piece from that book. And what the book says is the most effective way to change your habits is to focus not on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. Your identity emerges out of your habits. Every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Becoming the best version of yourself requires you to continuously edit your beliefs and to upgrade and expand your identity. You see, when you identify as a person who is trying to make a change, you're not really doing the necessary things to make that change. When you identify as a person that has already made that change, it's very easy to avoid temptation. So the book gives an example of this. In two people offered a cigarette. The first says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. The second person offered the cigarette says, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. So it's very subtle, but one person, the first one, identifies as a smoker who is trying to quit. The second person identifies as a non-smoker. So when these two people are tempted with a cigarette, the first person, it's very hard to say no and to resist temptation because they still identify as a smoker. The second person, it's very easy to say no because they don't identify with a smoker. That's not who they are. And I want to relate that back to my story where, someone who is a competitor, someone who lives a healthy lifestyle, it's very easy to say no to temptation, right? Drinks, food that's not on the plan, this and that. Someone who is trying to make a change, trying to be healthy, trying to compete, they still identify with their former self, right? And so, my identity is someone who tells himself that being shredded, being really lean, isn't that important in the grand scheme of things, which truly it isn't. But when I tell myself that story, it's really hard to avoid temptation and it's really hard to stick to the plan. So that mindset shift is what really needed to occur in order for me to be on the plan. So after I had those carne asada fries, I reached out to my girl and I said, I'll make you a bet. I said, first person who cheats on the diet owes the other person $150. And because I did that, it motivated me to be on the plan because I don't identify as a loser, right? So I'm not going to lose this bet to her. The $150 is really insignificant, but it's the fact that I do not want to lose to her. And we made that bet 10 days ago. And since we made that bet, I've hit all my cardio, hit all my workouts, hit all my meals. And I'm down 6 pounds since that day. So today I weighed in at 222. I hit a low of 221 yesterday. But weight fluctuates. That's normal. And I just wanted to share, that story with you to help you understand that, like, this weight loss thing isn't just, snap on your fingers and then you're eating perfectly, you're working out, you're doing all the necessary things that align with your goal. What has to happen first is a mindset shift. What has to happen first is an identity shift, or you need to figure out what triggers you in order to do the things that are necessary for you to reach that goal. So the update is I've been strong on my plan for the past 10 days, feeling better, more energy, stronger in the gym, more consistent, and I really feel like the momentum is really starting from here. So I will see you guys in the next episode. I hope you got a lot of value out of this one. And yeah, stay away from those carne asada fries. Peace.